Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Again, it's really dark here because I'm again filming really early. It is 6:35 a.m. So again, good morning for me and good afternoon for you guys. Today we are going to talk about Microsoft stock, ticker symbol MSFT, since they reported spectacular earnings yesterday. We will go over their numbers so I can explain why these type of companies and the other ones on the FAANG group of stocks just continue doing too well year over year. Talk about how they are able to do that after being around for so many years and still reporting such excellent growth. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and smashing that like button since it really helps the channel out. Also, I have a completely free Discord group chat. Link for that is down in the description below. Before starting, I do want to say that once I got GameStop as a free stock from Robinhood, so you never know if your free stock might be the next banger. You can get 4 free stock from Webull and 1 free stock with Robinhood. The links for that are down in the description below. So Microsoft stock is trading at $240.92 per share and it is up 3.70% after hours, but it got as high as a little over 6% just after they announced earnings. It has a market cap of $1.75 trillion. Even though I do not show that much technical analysis in this channel, I do think this is interesting. As you can see, the stock has been very silent since June, sitting around these prices. Yes, it has been moving up and down in a very volatile way, but not breaking that resistance level right here until yesterday. Obviously, because of their excellent earnings, we also saw stocks like Apple and Amazon also positively reacting to this news, and that basically means that people are also expecting those companies to have excellent earnings, and I'll give my opinion about that later on after we analyze Microsoft earnings and guidance. To start, I wanted to show you guys that Microsoft is a company that is actually doing excellent in every single segment of them, in everything they do. The commercial bookings is up 19%, commercial cloud 34%, their Office 365 is up 21% year over year, LinkedIn 23%, LinkedIn Dynamics 365 39%, Azure is up 50%. Their gaming revenue is up 51%. And see this, their Xbox hardware 86% growth year over year because obviously they dropped 1 new Xbox this year. Obviously, the pandemic did help with the acceleration of growth in demand for video games and acceleration in adoption of its cloud computing services, but have to say that those numbers are incredible. Not only that, their products as well. The remote work era has been a boon for Microsoft. In addition to its video game and cloud computing products, the company has notched strong sales of its Surface laptops as people bought devices to facilitate working from home. Now, let me analyze their income statement so we can understand how they are able to continue growing as they do. Their 3 months and 6 month view have been incredible. Their product size was almost flat since it only grew about 6% from 18 to 19 billion dollars, but their service and other sectors actually grew 42.7% to $23.6 billion, having a total revenue of $43.07 billion, which grew 17% year over year on a 3-month basis, but on a 6-month basis it grew almost 15%, which is excellent as well. Now, just see their cost of revenue. This is exactly what I wanted you guys to see. This is where the magic happens, and this is why the stock continues going up and why the company does so well. They spent $14 billion to make $43 billion, which leaves them with $28.8 billion after that cost, which is a gross margin of 67%. This is just insane. After that, they have other teeny tiny expenses in the research and development, sales and marketing, and general and administrative, but that is only about $10 billion, and that leaves them with an operating income of $17.8 billion, almost $18 billion. Then they reported a net income of $15 billion, which is a growth of 32% year over year, which is excellent. So in summary, they made $43 billion and netted $15 billion, which is almost 36% of the revenue. Obviously, when you see these kind of numbers and this spectacular income statement, you already know that the rest of the company is looking spectacular as well, because I would think that they know how to manage money. Now, on their balance sheet, they have $131.9 billion in cash and cash equivalents and short-term investments, total assets of $304.1 billion, and liabilities of $173.9 billion. Their long-term debt is not that big, it's only $55 billion, but they have $30 billion in short-term unearned revenue and $2.9 billion in long-term unearned revenue, which is money that is gonna end up appearing as revenue once they provide or deliver the service or product. As I said, this is a massive company that it is impressive how they are able to continue growing year over year as they continue innovating their business, services, and products and continue seeing such excellent growth that has been reflected in their stock price. Now, Microsoft returned $10 billion to shareholders, up 18% year over year, with share purchases and dividends, which obviously is excellent. After a pandemic, their cash flow from operations was $12.5 billion, which is up 17%, but their free cash flow is $8.3 billion, which is up 17% as well, which shows that Microsoft is just a cash machine. In here, you can see how their products and services have continued growing year over year. Obviously, Azure has been the best performer since 2019, but their Office 365 is not that far behind. With all that said, Azure obviously became their bigger source of revenue for the quarter, surpassing their Windows operating system licenses as the pandemic accelerated the cloud business growth, and companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google benefited a lot from it. Obviously, the stimulus checks also helped with the product growth. As the economy reopens, this could be the start of a very strong year for Microsoft's commercial business as well. Also, Microsoft Finance Chief Amy Hood told analysts Tuesday that further growth is expected in the current quarter. Sales are projected to come in at $40.38 or $41.25 billion. Video games are expected to post a roughly 40% growth from a year earlier, with Surface laptop sales also enjoying double-digit increases, which obviously is excellent since we might continue seeing excellent revenue growth, which might be reflected in the stock price and could give us a very nice return. Analysts are now expecting their stock price to go as high as $285 per share or as low as $220 per share. Another excellent thing, just like I showed you guys with Facebook, is that analyst recommendations are almost all green, meaning that 27 analysts voted to buy the stock, 3 to hold, and 0 to sell. 0 analysts are recommending to sell this stock right now. I do have to say that this was really high bar for Microsoft to achieve, and they were able to beat expectations by far. I do think Microsoft is at a great spot right now as a company and is an excellent stock as well. I do have a teeny tiny position in this stock, which obviously I regret not adding more before. You can see it represents 1.69% of my portfolio and has an average cost, a very nice average cost of $136 per share, which means that I'm up 76.83%. I do have to say that I will continue holding and adding to my position as well. I've been adding to my position in Apple and Facebook positions, and it's time to start adding into my Microsoft position right now. This shows us that even though they are huge companies, trillion-dollar companies, most of them, they still have more room to expand and their stock can continue running up because of their amazing business model. Obviously, I'm talking about the FAANG group of stocks: Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. One of the things that benefit Microsoft the most is that there are not many regulations in comparison to the other FAANG group of stocks, but I do have to say that I like all the group of stocks and are still adding to them as a long-term investment. Obviously, there are also nice or way better investments out there, such as Fubo TV, that is actually up over 45% within a week when I posted my last video about them, or Lemonade, that is up over 200% in the last 3 months. Obviously, guys, those gains are not normal. It's not something that happens very often, even though we saw that a lot last year. And we are kind of seeing it this year already. But the thing is that those are more volatile, high-risk stock. The FAANG group of stocks is more of a secure but nice growth investment, in my opinion, that could also give us a nice return in the long term. This is not financial advice, but I do think it is important to have exposure to these tech stocks as well. Now, what I'm expecting for Apple and Amazon earnings, I would think that you already saw the earnings when you're watching this video, but I think that Apple is going to do excellent since normally they tend to report their iPhone numbers on Q3, but this time because of the pandemic, they started selling their iPhone 12, 12 Pro, and 12 Mini on Q4, which means that we don't know exactly the numbers they had for selling that phone, and they beat record high on the very first day of that phone. For Amazon, I do expect the same because Q4 is obviously the best one for them, since a lot of people is buying a lot of gifts for holidays, and they always do very well on Q4. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash that like button and subscribe, since it really helps the channel out. Thank you, and see you next time.